Hello?
Luigi's Mansion for the Gamecube was a complete surprise for me. I tried Dark Moon first and I enjoyed it. It's overall a good game, but there's not much to it. I borrowed Luigi's Mansion 3 from a friend, played it for 3 or 4 hours, and I quit because it was too boring. I just couldn't force myself to play it. Anyways, when rebuilding my collection, I got a copy of the original for cheap and was excited to try it. I booted it up and almost immediately, I was hooked. As you probably know, this was another one of the launch titles for the Cube, and it was a complete surprise. After Mario 64, everyone expected another Mario hit, and Nintendo instead gave us this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you watched my last review, you'll know I've recently found a love for arcade design games. Games meant to be replayed, because you're either trying to beat it faster or get a higher score. Luigi's Mansion fits this description perfectly. It has a very short runtime, from 3 to 6 hours depending on your skill. The score system in this game is the money and gold you collect, and depending on how much you get a ranking, the hardest one to get being an A rank. Because of how quick this game is and how addicting the simple action of sucking up ghosts is, you can't help but boot it up again to try and get a better score. In fact, I played the Hidden Mansion mode immediately after I beat the final boss. If you don't know, the Hidden Mansion mode is the harder version of the game, and it's even more fun. Anyways, I'm losing focus. Let's talk about why I love this game. This game has a constant feedback loop. Every single time you suck up a ghost, depending on the method you use to pull with the control sticks, you can suck the ghost up faster or slower. You are constantly mastering the perfect technique to capture a ghost. What makes this game so addicting is that no matter how many times I've played it, I feel like I can still get better at this technique. Some people argue that this gameplay is repetitive, as you are constantly still performing the same action throughout the entire game, but that's not true. This game understands that without variety, one can get easily bored, which is why there is a great emphasis on the boss ghosts. Each one of these bosses is memorable in its own way. They all possess their own specific weakness that must be exploited by Luigi. This is usually a simple puzzle, like playing the instruments in this room or stealing this fat ass's food. That's the easy part. It's the sucking that can be quite difficult. The challenge is to get the boss with one vacuum attempt, so that you can earn the largest amount of money. And that's made even more difficult by additional projectiles or traps placed around the stage. I'm still trying to get better at this, and hopefully after a few more playthroughs I'll have gotten the hang of it. The game designers could have been lazy and used the same normal ghosts throughout the game and offered only a few bosses, but they understood that repetitive gameplay with little challenge is not too fun. To make a point of this, let's quickly look at Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. Now this is a good game, but one of my biggest complaints is that the battles in this game are 90% the boring common enemies who have no real challenge, and every single time you get into battle, you have to watch this entire cutscene. I can go more into depth if I ever make a review on this game, but I just wanted to show the foil to the gameplay in Luigi's Mansion. There are way more interesting battles to be had with Luigi, and each one is quick to the point, and most importantly, each and every single time you play the game, the battle is different, as you get pulled into a random direction each time and have to react accordingly to the environment. This game, as I mentioned before, has a surprisingly short runtime of only a few hours, and to some this may be a letdown, but actually it works in the game's favor. Remember the issue of repetitive gameplay? That's not a problem in such a short game. I tell everyone I know all the time that it's better to play a short and sweet game such as this than to play a long, dragged-out game. Now, while this is a classic no doubt, for the first time I'm going to have to give some negative feedback. In the game, you'll have to capture a significant number of boos, and unlike the sucking up mechanic of the other ghosts, the boos instead are able to run away from your poltergust and go into other rooms. I am not kidding when I say the boos almost ruin the game. They're just a slight annoyance at first throughout your playthrough, but as you near the end of the mansion, these things have an insane amount of health. That doesn't make them harder in any way. It just means you have to constantly switch rooms to chase them and hear this stupid, annoying laugh every single time you open a door. I cannot understand at all why the developers put this into the game. This is seriously the only flaw, and this game is still amazing despite this extremely stupid idea. Anyways, let's wrap this video up. I really love this game and will certainly replay it many more times, and I recommend it to all who have a GameCube or a Wii somewhere in storage. This is a certified Anthony must play